Okay, we are live now.
All right.
Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for coming. And in today's video, I have a very important personality. Like, I'm very happy to do this video with her because we've been planning for like what, 1,000 years.
It's been a while. True. It's
It's
been
been a
long.
while.
Long.
Yeah. So today I have here with me Phoebe. I'll let her introduce herself. So Phoebe, the floor is yours. Please introduce yourself briefly to
Okay.
us.
Thank you for having me, Firdaws. Hi to everyone. I'm a Ghanaian. Well, partly Nigerian, partly Togolese, but I grew up in Ghana. I was born in Ghana, so I identify as Ghanaian. And I've been in Germany since 2004, so almost 20 years. And yeah, I started YouTube, 2020 to talk about, the racism that was going on at that time. And then I realized that there was a barrier between the Ghanaian or African community and the German community. And one was the language barrier, and two, because of the information that was not penetrating into the Ghanaian community about life in Germany. So I started doing news, like German news that affect you as an African living in Germany. That's why I do the monthly update. So go check that out. And also started talking about living in Germany legally to make things easier for us. So you don't have to hide. So that when you're walking the streets, you're bold. And yeah, I'm a legal interpreter. So I interpret from German to English, German to Fancy, German to Either, German to English, and German to Pidgin and back. So I work mostly with the German courts. And I also work with the notaries when somebody's buying like a house or people are getting married and want to do their prenuptials and everything. Yes, so I work usually in languages, but my field is the legal aspects. And that's why I delve into the legal things so much. I just love reading new laws and all of that. And because when I started this, people were like, Phoebe, can you help me with this? Can you help me with that? I started the agency last year. The Phoebe Way is the name of my YouTube channel and also my platform. So I started it. You can find me www.thephoebeway.de. And we give services like one, people want to get married in Denmark. So sometimes you have a German citizen trying to get married to an African citizen, and they want to just live here together. So doing this process in Germany is a bit tedious, it's a bit long, but in Denmark it's easier. So after I made the video, people came to me, and so I started helping with that. And then also started the Ausbildung package. So it's actually funny because I started this January and it's been going well. And yes, the Ausbildung package as well. And also anything like we have people who have questions about asylum. And so if you need a good lawyer, especially here in the South, I'm in Stuttgart, so I work a lot with lawyers here in the South. I see them a lot in court, so I know which lawyer had good arguments. Like, because I've had experience of like 6-7 years in my job, I know which lawyer was bad and which lawyer was great. So I can also like refer you to lawyers and all that. And all of these services come in. Sometimes too, I help with finding jobs. Like if you need someone to read through your CV and everything that an African in Germany needs to integrate and find their feet here, we will create the service for you, basically. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I was even going to ask you that. I know you have like an agency. You've talked about it. I was going to ask
Yeah.
you what the agency does. You've already talked about it in your introduction. That's really brilliant. So you guys, Phoebe has an agency which is called the Phoebe Way,
Yeah.
right? And she has mentioned all the services and a lot more. So if probably she
Exactly.
hasn't mentioned some of them, just I'll leave her contact in the details and reach her out and then she'll get back to you. So Phoebe, in today's video, I want us to talk about vocational training or Ausbildung training in Germany, because on my channel I usually talk about coming to Germany for masters or bachelors, and I hardly do talk about vocational training. And I think there's a lot of prospects that most of our people don't know this. Everybody wants to come for like masters or bachelors. Meanwhile, there are great opportunities in the vocational training. So
True.
a lot of people will not know this. So I want you to give us like a general overview. What is an Ausbildung? When someone says Ausbildung, they don't know what is Ausbildung in Germany.
So Ausbildung is, as you said, a vocational training system that is in Germany. And there are different types of trainings. So we have okay, now let me go back a bit. In Germany, the school system is different from the one we have in some place like Ghana. Let me use Ghana because that's what I know. So in Ghana, you go to primary school, you start at age 6, you finish class 6, you go to JSS or JHS, 3 years or 4 years, depending on which year you started. And then you do the SHS, also 3 years. And after that, depending on your grades, you go to university, right? Or some people also start vocational training. So we have the seamstress, we have the cooks, the caterers, and all of that. Now, Germany is similar but a bit different. In Germany, our primary school is just 4 years. Okay, so we start from class 1 and class 4. They decide which secondary school we will go to. So we have the Hauptschule, Realschule, and Gymnasium. Hauptschule is definitely, once you finish Hauptschule, you finish at class 8. Yeah, class 8, I believe. No, hold on, class 9. Sorry, you finish Hauptschule at class 9. And then after you finish class 9, you can learn a trade. So that's when the vocational training comes in. But then with Hauptschule, it's not all types of trainings that you can do. Okay. Then you finish Realschule at class 10. That's a Realschulabschluss, mittlere Reife. You can also start with the training. And these the people that you usually see as the bank clerks. You can see them doing secretarial jobs and all of that. And then you can also finish gymnasium. So gymnasium, you start from class 5 and you finish at either class 12 or class 13, depending on which year and which kind of school you went to. But it's usually 8 years, 7 or 8 years. And then when you finish that, depending on your grades and what you want to do, you can go to university. So we have uni. We also have the Fachhochschulen. That's like a university, but they have smaller classes. It's more like hands-on, you know. And then if you don't want to study, you can also do the Ausbildung. So after all these schools, you can always do an Ausbildung. It doesn't matter. I have friends who finished the 13th grade with us, but they still went into Ausbildung because she was like, I'm tired. So I know one of my friends, she did an Ausbildung at the bank and she's been a bank clerk since. Okay. And then some of us who also went to uni, and yeah. So you can always do an Ausbildung depending on the grades you have and what's your branch, as in your field, requires from you. Now, what is special about the German Ausbildung is this. You have vocation, like the school, so the Berufsschule, plus the practicals at the same time. So it starts from 2 years to 3.5 years, depending on the program you choose. That's how long it would take. And the last firm I worked in, we had multiple Atubi. So we had an Atubi, that's what they call them, Auszubildende. The short form is Atubi. So we had Atubi in the secretary's office, and then we had Atubi, somebody who should become like a tax, how do you call it? A tax consultant, okay? And he was like an assistant to the tax consultant. So they go to school, I believe it was Mondays and Wednesdays, and then the other days they're in the office. Some other Ausbildung is different. You don't go to Berufsschule on certain days only, but you go like for the semester, and then the rest you are in class. So depending on your program, that is how it goes. So it's a mixture of the hands-on practical skills plus the theoretical skills mixed together. So by the time you finish, you have the practicals, like the experience, and you also have the knowledge with it. Yeah.
Great. That was a great overview. So one would ask, like, what are some of the programs one can take during an Ausbildung?
Ausbildung, it's unlimited. They have about over 300 programs.
Wow.
Over 300. There's nothing you cannot do with an Ausbildung. So the medical field, you can basically think of anything. There's an Ausbildung for it, except obviously the doctor. But there's a lot that you can do in the medical field, not just Pflege, as in taking care of the people, but we have the technicians behind the scenes, the laboratory technicians and all of that. You can do certain programs in the medical field. When it comes to secretarial field, that if I had done an Ausbildung, probably that's what I would have done, because for me it's easy, just working with words and once in a while cooking coffee or something. But that is another thing that you can also look into. Then we have the technical aspects, like fully technical, like railway technicians. We have everything technicians actually can do that. And then we have the craftsmen. Now, craftsmen, if you are somebody who's thinking of being a plumber, being an electrician, all these things, think about it, because this is what is lacking in Germany. This is serious. My new apartment, we were looking for people to install wallpaper, and the prices they were quoting, and I've been in asylum hearings where the bosses would come to the hearings with their employees, the Africans, to say that I don't have anybody. If you deport this guy, I'm not going to find someone else. This is how serious it is. So don't sleep on these technical jobs as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically in every field, there's Ausbildung program in these 300. If I start counting, I wouldn't even finish.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys, I know you're already enjoying Phoebe's talk. Like you're so engrossed, I know. So Phoebe has a YouTube channel. Before we continue, go to my description box, go to her channel, go and subscribe. And you will learn a lot more than what you're learning here right now. This is just like a tip
True.
on the iceberg. So just
Yeah.
imagine if you go to her channel. So we can continue now. So how can someone from outside of Germany apply for an Ausbildung?
Okay, so there are two ways. Since 2020, this type of visa came that you can come to Germany and look for a job. And it's similar with Ausbildung as well. But it's costly. Because it's just like coming to study. You do basically everything like that, and then you have to have your blocked account or the Verpflichtungserklärung to have a guarantor saying that I'm going to take care of this person. So that is the only thing I don't like about that one. Yeah. So that is it. And also coming to do the Ausbildung too, I think they will still ask you, even though you have an employer. So that's the one way to come here and then look for the Ausbildung yourself, or you would find the Ausbildung before you come. So you search like the way you search for university or you search for a job, you do that's whole search and everything, but prepare yourself with the German language and all that, and then you apply. And as I already said, there are jobs in high demand. Target on those. You definitely find one. And if your language skills are good and everything from outside the EU and you have a good employer, you get it.
Right. That means if you're an individual who is outside of Germany, if you've learned the German language and you've already got like an employer, like where to do your Ausbildung, you don't need a block account, or?
Now this is where, from the information that I'm getting, you will still need a blocked account, which to me personally doesn't make sense, because as you're doing the Ausbildung, you are getting paid, and that's why Ausbildung is so attractive. Because the other ways of traineeships, being the Berufsschule or doing just the one that goes with Ausbildung und Studium together, you don't always get paid. With Berufsschule, you don't get paid at all. And then even private Berufsschulen, you don't get paid at all. But with Ausbildung, you are actually earning from the company. That's one thing that makes Ausbildung very, lucrative or attractive to young people. Because the first year, you're earning almost 1,000 euros. Then the next year, they add 100 to 200 euros. And then maybe by the time you finish, you're at 1,003. For a single young person, you don't need much. It's actually covers it. So logically, you wouldn't, but I would still try to get the blocked account so they wouldn't dwell on that to deny you your visa. Just also for you to have the security, because your job could fail tomorrow, So have that as a security, or have someone who would do the Verpflichtungserklärung for you, and then, yeah.
Okay, so either the blocked account or the
Verpflichtungserklärung.
Verpflichtungserklärung.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we've mentioned some of the requirements, but if you could go over some of the requirements if one wants to do an Ausbildung, what are the basic requirements?
So number one, we talked about the language.
Yeah.
But even before we talk about the language, you need to see if what you have, your school leaver certificates, is equivalent to the Hauptschule, the one I said earlier. So the one that's equivalent to class 9, which would be something about like our JHS, or something like the Realschule. So the Realschule would be like maybe SS Form 1, SS Form 2, or even could equate to gymnasium, but that would be like a real school leaver certificate, the one that enables you to go to gymnasium and to the university. So make sure that you have your certificates recognized and equate it to the German, correspondent one. That is important. Number 2, learning the language. As for the language, everybody would say it's difficult, everything, but you need it. You need it because if you don't know the German language, you'll be in your own world. And I have clients that they are so qualified, qualified. But what we are working on now is I just the moment I take your profile and everything, I'm like, what's your German level? Say A2. I know, and I say A2 means you don't speak it. You might understand, but you speaking it, you don't. So I need you to work on B1 and B2 as we are applying. So for the Ausbildung, B1 is great, B2 is better, especially if you're coming from outside Germany. If you're already in Germany, some might even take A2. One of my Ausbildung's clients, she had A2 at that time. They took her, but also because it's the field that they really needed her. And now she's doing her German course plus her Ausbildung. It's not easy on her, but she's trying because she has realized that she needs to, improve the German as time is going on. So, yeah, the German proficiency is important. And even if you're not coming to the Ausbildung, you found a job in Germany, start learning. Go to the Goethe Institute, go on Babel, Duolingo. There are certain, how do I put it? There's certain codes that you can use. For example, there's some podcasts that you can listen to. They'll give you free codes to use Babel. I was listening to, hold on, let me check which podcast it was. I think it was Maud Lost. If you listen to, Maud Lost. So when you go on Babel and you put in Maud Lost, instead of 1 year, you pay for 6 months and you get 6 months for free. You can use these codes to get cheaper courses. So German is very important. So we've talked about the language, we've talked about your certificate. And then if you have some kind of experience in what you're going to do, it also helps. Now, your visa application. For the visa application, we've talked about the blocked accounts or the Verpflichtungserklärung, that is somebody guaranteeing obligation to take care of you. That's also one thing that you can look at. So these 3 things are like the main pillars of what you would need. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very
And
much.
of course, you also, if you are coming to look for the job here, you'd also need a proven accommodation. That is hard, but it's not impossible.
Right. So would you advise people to find an employer before coming to Germany?
Definitely.
That's better, right? Yeah.
Definitely. And let me give you a small tip. If you're looking for an Ausbildung, don't look for Ausbildung in the heart of Hamburg or Stuttgart or Berlin. Go for the villages. Because they are the ones whose children are now doing IT and they don't have anybody to take up their company. This is like the village I usually frequent. They've closed down bakeries and what you call Metzger, where you get the fresh sausage and everything. They've closed them down because their kids are no more in the village. So if he had enough people to train, maybe he would have continued. And also, they are the ones who need the technicians. They are the ones who need people to help them with the plumbing jobs and everything. So don't look in the big areas. If you are ready to live in the rural area, and rural area in Germany is not the same as rural area in Ghana. Okay, the bus comes maybe once a day, but you don't need much. You have to focus yourself on different things than where the party is happening. Party here is not even the same. So just go to the rural area. Yeah.
I mean, you can be living in Berlin or Hamburg and it's still going to be boring for you because, depends on your circle, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the kind of person you are. There are people who were usually indoors in Ghana. They thrive the best in Germany. If you were somebody in Ghana who would just keep to yourselves, or you're always charging your social battery, you'd be so happy in Germany because nobody would like you. It's quiet. Look at us doing this video and we don't even hear anything apart from birds, and it's what? 1 p.m.
Yeah.
No noise, no loud music, anything. So if you're that kind of person who likes to just slowly build and keep to themselves, Germany is the best for you. If you're more like me, extroverted, you become introverted by force.
Yep.
It's just what it is. But you can't have it all, You can't have it all. So yeah.
Oh, thank you. So let's look at some of the restrictions to doing an Ausbildung. Like, I want to ask, let's say I want to come for Ausbildung. Can I bring in my spouse if I'm married, my kids? Can I bring them along?
You can come first and then you do the Familiennachzug. Oh, no, not Nachzug. That's the wrong term for it legally. But Familienzusammenführung. So you can have your spouse come join you, but your mother can join you. Your mother can come on a tourist visa.
Okay.
So it's more for your nuclear family, actually more for the spouses. So yeah, and of course your child might stand a chance, but more for your family and not for the external family or the extended family. Yeah.
Right. So,
So you can have your family join, because also without, because you are earning and you
mhm,
have your accommodation, one person could, and it's the space. Also, you have to make sure that you have enough space for the
mhm.
person and all of that. Yeah, but it's possible. Legally, it's possible. If they will do it in real life, or they will grant you, is another thing.
Okay. So when doing your Ausbildung, can you also take like a part-time job aside?
Yes,
Is that
so
allowed?
you can, but the restriction is, I believe, 20 hours extra. You can't do more than that. So you have to be very careful as well when you're doing that. And that's what I'm saying. If it's good if you're a single person and your bills or your duties are not that much. Yeah.
Yes.
So you can't come and in the first year expect to take care of the whole family back home. It's not possible. You
Mm,
just start something illegal. Like, nah.
yeah.
It's
Okay. I
similar to
get.
that of students.
Right. Are there like any age restrictions to?
No, not that I know of. There are age restrictions when it comes to au pair.
Okay.
Yes, for that I think the au pair ends at 25 or highest 30. But with Ausbildung, no. Even older people are starting Ausbildung. So
Like 50 years.
you can start an Ausbildung.
Okay.
If you have the head to sit in the classroom, you can. And a lot of our Ghanaian aunties and uncles are now doing Ausbildung in
Yes.
Germany.
Mm.
Like they are starting. So there's no age limit.
Yeah. I actually had an uncle. He was like, if he had known, when he came to Germany long time ago, he told me that if he had known, he would have taken an Ausbildung because he knew some of his one that did Ausbildung. Now they're not doing all that stressful job because they were
Yes.
all like, let's take shifts, work, and they're like, we can't go to school. What is school, you know? And he said he
Yeah, but
wished,
per coins.
uh-huh.
And they
But
will
then no
blow
one
up in your face.
exactly. That he wish he had
Yeah.
like us be doing like by now he would just be resting, at his
True.
age. He has to still stand for like 12 hours,
Oh
all
man.
that exactly. So when he said I came to school, I was so happy that it was good, he came to school. Yeah, so house
Yeah.
building is good.
And
So
one
let's
advantage of
yeah,
Ausbildung is you can always build upon it. So,
right.
for example, you are a craftsman, or you do like hairdressing and everything. You can always go for the Meistertitel, and that is like senior apprentice. Like, I don't know how to put it, yeah, but more like senior apprentice in your field. So, and these people are the ones that can also open their own shops. And
Mm,
the hourly rate wage of the senior apprentice, let me say the senior technician, is not the same as the regular one. So the more you do it, and the more like you develop and improve, the more you can earn per hour. That's another thing, because if an electrician comes to you and I have the Fach, or what is the Meister Electriker, his hourly wage might be like double what or triple what the regular one would take. And they even put it in your invoice. You see that, because it was the boss who came, it's more expensive. Okay, so that's one thing you can do. And you can always study after Ausbildung. So some of my clients, when they come, they're like, I have a bachelor's in Ghana. I'm like, you just say you have a bachelor's in Ghana, all right. But can you take 3 years break? Okay, to just learn the German language and be earning money at the same time, because you sitting home and learn the German language is not the same. You going for the German course and everything, it's not the same, but at least you are learning, and you're learning a skill. Maybe some people are learn something like in Ghana, you study nursing, but when you come here, you do the Ausbildung for nursing. You are bettering your German. You know all the technical words in your field, and you have the hands-on experience. Okay, so after that, you can look into studying to like improve what you already have. And maybe then you already have a bachelor's. Look into a master's, and this with the experience. I'm not the one to tell you be earning a lot of money. It's it's done. Like, so just if you can take the break, the 3 years will pass by anyways. The 4 years will pass by anyways. So you can take the break and do an Ausbildung to have improve your German language, to learn how the German work system works. Like, it's different working in corporate German and different working in a bakery in Germany. It's
mm-hmm.
two different worlds. All these things help you to make informed decisions with your career. So that's another advantage. You asked me about that advantages earlier. With Ausbildung, you can always improve and build upon it.
Right.
Yeah.
So actually, the next question was like benefits to us building. I think we've talked about it. It's like
Yeah.
you going to school and earning at the same time. You mentioned up to €1,000, and gradually they increase it to 200 to 300
Yeah.
to 1,000 euros. So yeah, guys, are all the benefits to house building. And I know if you have like a WASI result from Ghana, you can use it to apply for.
Exactly.
Right. Okay. Right.
So
Do you have
the
to? Okay.
oh come you continue with the question and then
Oh, you consider, because I'm going to ask a different question altogether.
okay. So with the WASI
Yeah.
certificate, some people would go to the Anerkennung and they'll give them Hauptschule. Others would go to give them Realschule. And I'm yet to understand what system they use.
Right.
But I think what plays a role is the subjects that you took and your grades.
Yeah.
So there are certain subjects that Hauptschule absolvent or Hauptschulleavers don't have, and certain courses that Realschulleavers have. So I think they base, so it depends on what your majors were and you or what you did in Ghana, like which profile you chose. Did you do the science profile? Did you do the general arts profile? Whatever profile you chose is what is going to determine how your evaluation is going to come out. Okay, so it's true. WASI is what you need. JHS is not bad. Try with it, but WASI is definitely better and will give you better options. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm actually going to ask like the documents just to summarize everything. So what's your certificate, your blocked account confirmation, or either
Yes.
Verpflichtung Erklärung, or if you have your employers, like if you have a contract, signed contract,
Yes.
that's also like okay, right. So do you
And
have to
then your
provide?
German language certificates.
That's like top.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
maybe B1 or B2. Which one do you recommend?
I recommend B2.
Right.
You can start learning. So when you finish A1, A2, you do B1. And as you are doing the B2, you start the applications. So whenever they ask what's your level, you say, oh, ich habe B1 abgeschlossen und ich bin gerade dabei, B2 zu besuchen oder abzuschließen. And one thing in this German system is you need to be what they call sympathisch. So you need to be somebody who smiles a lot. Smiling confidently and humbly. I don't know how to combine it.
Okay.
But when you smile a lot and you ask questions, you are sympathisch. So not that you are sympathetic, but you are somebody who is likable. That's another trick. So when you're doing your interviews,
Yeah.
also prepare yourself with questions and ask. It doesn't matter how stupid it sounds. Or you can ask, oh, would I also be following you everywhere? So they know, oh, this person is interested. Or maybe not. It depends how you ask it. But if you ask, would I be following you everywhere? Or how many days do I have to be there in a week? Do I have only Sundays? Ask questions. And it was a cultural shock for me when I was in corporate that I would try to do things on my own and I would make mistakes. And then one day my boss was like, ask questions. Niemand nimmt dir übel. Nobody's going to fault you for that. Ask the questions. Because maybe you'll make a mistake that is irreversible. So just ask the questions. And in Ghana, when you ask questions, you'll be like, hey, Tenyima. So you don't know. You know? But in Germany, it's different. So yeah, these are some of the things that you'll be learning as you are doing the Ausbildung. But if you were just going to university straight or just doing the theoretical things, you wouldn't know.
Yeah, you wouldn't know unless you have an internship or something like this.
Exactly.
You wouldn't know at all. Even getting the internship is not even easy when you're in the university, especially if you don't have like past experience. It's also like a struggle. Okay, so you guys already, Phoebe was giving tips on how you can excel in your interview, how you make your resume, and she provides all these services. She can put you through from the scratch to like from the beginning to the end, all through this process. And it's not only Ausbildung, I think it's also with university. People want to come to
So I
university.
started with university as well because I didn't want to start with the Ausbildung from outside Germany, but with the university, because when I started YouTube, I think in 2021, I started giving tips on university. So I have a video on that as well. And people were like, Phoebe, just help me. And I'm like, okay. So I've done my my trial runs successfully. So we started. And yeah, so this is June. Application windows are open in most universities for masters. So yes, you can contact me for that as well.
Okay, so you're open to like universities, Ausbildung as well, from outside of Germany, right?
Germany. I think I have to because
You
Not
have to
everybody is made
be.
to study. And another thing is, studying in Germany is not the same as studying in Ghana, I believe. I never studied in Ghana. I went to just regular school in Ghana, and in Germany you have to apply what you studied, and we don't have multiple choice. I don't know if you had multiple choice in your studies, but in Germany there's no multiple choice.
You just reminded me. It's true.
Yeah, there's no multiple choice, so there's nothing like statistics way better.
Yeah.
You have to read and understand,
Yeah.
okay? And I think when it comes to that, Ausbildung is better for such people who don't want to go straight into theories and everything, because with Ausbildung, you're in a classroom. You may be a class of 30 people. Highest, I don't even think they're going to be up to 50, but you're in a classroom, you have a teacher in front of you, you have somebody to ask questions, and usually you have people who are your age mates. So if you're a younger person, yes, but they're also older people. So there's more, how do I say it, familiarity.
Yes.
So you can ask each other. But with uni in Germany, it's not easy. It's not for everyone.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And another thing is, now there's opportunity card. Would you help somebody who wants to come to Germany with opportunity card? Would you provide those services as well?
Currently, I do not want to.
Okay.
And it's simple. Opportunity card is harder to attain. First, because of the age limits. So it's up to 35, and that's what a lot of people don't know. So when it first came, I did a video on that as well. Yes, 35 and below. And you also have to come, show that you are self-sustained, like self-sustenance. That's one thing about Germany. And a lot of people know that the German social system is good. And Germany still is telling us our system is good because we are safeguarding it. So not everybody is going to come and benefit of the social system. They don't want more burden. So you have to be self-sufficient, And similar to this opportunity card is how this Ausbildung thing is going to be. But with that, it's the work seekers visa. That's how I would call it. It's a bit different. So opportunity card is definitely harder to get. And it's also a limited type. So if they say this year we're going to give only 200 to Ghanaians and it's up, that's it.
Right. So
and also the points. So they calculate with points. So if you have the German proficiency or English proficiency, depending on the kind of Ausbildung you have, the kind of, all of that.
All right.
So I'll need time to really get into that. So probably it will be towards the end of the year before we start. Like we have a program to start with that.
Okay. So let's say somebody has two options. Should I take the master's route or the opportunity card route? Which one would you recommend?
I'll take the master's route.
Right.
Because even with the opportunity card, you still need a blocked account.
And also, I was thinking that, like, looking for jobs in Germany, they don't really recognize our degree. Like, if you go to school here, you're easy to get a job than you bringing in your degree from Ghana. So I think, yes, the master's route is.
Yes.
But somebody asked me this question this one. I was like, that's a good question.
Now, I think I would go for the master's degree because made in Germany degrees, as you said, they have like a higher value. And even it's just natural to trust what you know, because you know that, German schools are hard. So if this person has passed it means the person is really good. Okay. And you coming from outside usually means you don't speak any German too. You don't know how the German system works and everything. And one thing I realized too is that the reason why they want German speakers is because people who speak German are how do I say it? Not safer, but when it comes to racism, people who speak German, they fight for themselves quicker. So, and if you don't speak the language, every other thing that they would say will sound like an attack to you. Sometimes it is, but you can't even prove it. How do you say it? And I think for HR relations, it's easier for them to take a German speaker, not a German citizen, but someone who speaks German.
Yeah.
Than that. So doing the masters, and that is for me, it's better.
Okay. So we are wrapping up. Any final words to anyone who wants to move to Germany?
My number one line is Germany is for the patient person. I want hustle. Germany is not a place for you to hustle and say, I'm going to make 10K this year. Except you want to become a criminal or something. Germany, you build everything slowly. And even personally, now today I was supposed to go to the rat house because I'm moving, and the phone company said that they need me to be registered at the new address before they give me the contract. Don't ask me why. It doesn't make any sense to me because I said I live there. But they said they want it from the authorities. I said, okay. The appointments for at the authorities is giving me September. And if I want to go now, I have to go and camp there and be there before 7:30 and take my number and wait. I looked at the time when the alarm said 5:30. I said, I didn't. I just turned around and slept. So you have to be patient, and your mindset also has to be one that you love yourself. I'm saying this because I'm talking with Firdaus, and I believe that lots of women are going to watch this. If you want to come to Germany, love yourself fiercely because you're going to be different. And I don't want you to come and be like, Matum, I'm not accepted. You're going to struggle with a lot of things too. So prepare yourself mentally, psychologically, financially, everything. We've said that, but prepare yourself for the change that is coming. Okay. And if you love yourself, you realize that you yourself, the way you are, is enough. You don't need the confirmation of your German neighbor before you move on. No.
Right.
Another thing too is come with an open mind. I'm saying love yourself, but also come with an open mind because Germany is a democracy, and it means that everybody here has a say and their rights are very protected. So if you don't like the LGBTQ people, keep it to yourself. Nobody has asked you. These are some of the things that you realize will make or break your life in Germany. Honestly, a lot of people complain about these things. And if you are a Muslim, you pray, Friday you go to the mosque, you come back home. I'm me a Christian, that this Kobola Christian that I am. Sunday I go to church, sometimes I come back home. You don't have to impose your views on anybody. It's, as I said, it's a democracy. We have free rights. And the earlier you realize these things, the better your life in Germany will be for you. 20 years in this country, and this is probably the time that I'm enjoying it the most. Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much. This was really insightful. I personally learned so much because I really don't know much about the other routes of coming into Germany, and I believe you guys learned so much. And so you guys should go to Phoebe's channel. It's going to be in the description box. Go and subscribe, and then I think we'll be seeing her more often here. And then
All right.
And also, thank you guys. Phoebe, I have to thank you. Thank you so much for
thank you for having me. Thank you for your patience.
Oh,
You know, she has already passed the German test because the patience with us has like no. You were really patient with me. Thank you for accommodating my schedule but making this work. Thank you.
Yeah. I'll also be glad to see myself on your platform as well.
Oh yes.
If you want me, like, just holla, I'll be there.
Oh, that's sweet. Just holla. I'll holla.
Yeah. So
thank you for having me,
so
guys.
much. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next in another video. Bye.
Yeah. Bye. Okay, this